What is the commonality that all entrepreneurs that you admire share? In my view, they all have a high performance mindset. Let's get to it. Hey, I'm Castillo, founder of Selfmastered. We're a high-performance training company that helps entrepreneurs scale their businesses by solving their silent bottleneck, their own performance. We transform the unproductive, overwhelming, and focused entrepreneurs into laser-focused business athletes that can achieve in one day what they previously achieved in 1 week. Hello friends, so today I want to talk about a high performance mindset, which is the thing that you need to nurture and cultivate if you want to beat the odds in business. Because as you know, building a business and scaling a business is one of the hardest things that you can do. And you will only be successful if you can nurture a belief system, a set of character traits, and a set of habits that help you towards the vision that you are creating. Now, what is a high performance mindset? Well, before we define exactly what it is, let's define what performance is, because without knowing exactly what performance is, we cannot define what a high performance mindset is. And performance essentially is potential minus interference. Potential is essentially the summation of all the assets that you have within, that you have nurtured throughout your life, that help you in your quest. So it can be your character traits, it can be your skill set, it can be the connections that you've nurtured, everything and anything that helps you towards that vision. And the interferences are essentially three. 1, negative belief system. 2, faulty thought patterns. And 3, bad habits or action. A high performer is always auditing the belief system, the thought patterns, and the behavioral stack in order to trim out the fat and only leave what helps propel that person forward. And how can you do it? Well, let's get to it. But before we get into it, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss out on any of the juicy videos that we release every week. And also because it is the right thing to do, right? There's more people that need to have access to this content so they can implement the lessons that we teach and hopefully have a lot bigger impact. Now, if you want to develop a high performance mindset, you need to essentially remove negative thought patterns, faulty belief system, and misaligned actions or habits. But how do you know if something is misaligned? How do you know if something is faulty, negative, not helping you? Well, by defining a direction, a vision, something that you're striving towards. Once you know exactly what it is you're trying to achieve, then you can essentially discard the meaningless and useless and only keep what helps you. This is what Aristotle said, that man is a teleological being. Telos is goals. We need goals in order to work and function. So once you have set that goal, then everything needs to be aligned along that direction. So the first step is to understand what it is that you're building. What's the 10-year vision that you are striving to build? What are you fighting for? And once you know what it is that you're fighting for, then you need to audit belief systems, thought patterns, and habits in order to essentially trim away the fat and only keep what is useful. So step 1, change your belief system. In order to change your belief system, there's one fundamental shift that you probably need to do, which is embracing what Carol Dweck, which is a Stanford psychologist, calls a growth mindset. Professor Dweck essentially distinguishes between two mindsets. One is the fixed mindset, which assumes that your belief system, character traits, and abilities are fixed and cannot be improved, and a growth mindset, which postulates the contrary, that everything can be improved, everything can be changed for the better. A growth mindset essentially implies that through dedication and hard work, any situation can be improve, and therefore failure is just feedback. Every obstacle is just part of the way, and the goal is to always become better. Once you embrace a growth mindset and understand that it's all working in your favor if you choose it to be so, then you can look into your belief system and understand what beliefs are just not helping you get where you want to get, right? What are the things that you're telling yourself that you really cling on that maybe are just not true, or are not true anymore, or maybe are just not helping you anymore? That's the number one thing you need to look at. When looking into this, you need to always seek to be uncomfortable, seek discomfort, try to get outside of your circle of competence often, so that over time you shatter those beliefs, because it's just not enough to discard a belief that doesn't help you. You need to reinforce it with a new belief that actually proves that you were wrong in the first place. So I always suggest people trying things outside of circle of competence, really pushing far away of the limit of their abilities. That's how over time you break that faulty belief system and replace it with a new set of beliefs that pushes you forward. 2, identify your triggers. So what are the triggers of those negative thoughts? When do you feel your worst? What things bring the worst in mind? Identify them and remove those triggers. And finally, replace those negative thoughts with positive. 3, finally, ignore those negative thoughts. So we humans are essentially meaning-making machines. So we assign meaning to the things that we pay the most attention to. So one of the best things that you can do to rewire your brain for positive thinking is essentially not paying attention to the negative thoughts. Every time they arise, just don't pay attention to them. Let them vanish. Get your personal power back. And finally, remove negative habits and actions that are not aligned with the goal. And how you do that? Well, it is very hard to change one's behavior by trying very hard to do so, right? We are creatures of habit. So the most interesting approach is to use your willpower only to tweak the environment in which you operate in. When you are consciously designing your environment for optimal defaults, your behavior will be the one you seek just by default. So instead of trying very hard to change your behavior and align it with your vision, just architect your environment so that going into a positive behavior is the default mode of action. So if you want to lose weight, just don't go to fast food restaurants. Don't buy fattening food. If you want to learn a new language, well, just watch movies in that language. If you want to learn a new skill, just focus on that skill for 1 month or 1 quarter. Essentially, work on the conditions of the environment so that you're able to achieve the desired behavior with minimal friction. And this is what a high performance mindset entails. It's about auditing your thought patterns, belief systems, and habits in order to get the outcome you want. And if you look at all of those entrepreneurs that you admire, they have essentially mastered themselves in order to master the game of business. Because Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all of those that you admire do not have negative thought patterns or faulty belief systems or bad habits that prevent them from showing up in their daily work. They have done a lot of inner work that has outward results. So this is the video for today. I hope it was useful. If you found it useful, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I would love to see what you can do by embracing this idea of a high performance mindset. See you in the next video.